Sometimes I feel that life today is similar to one giant menu screen. Like you boot up a game and suddenly there's 50 different paths, 10 different classes to pick from, 100 ways to build your character. And instead of feeling free, you kind of just feel paralyzed. And that's kind of how real life feels right now. Just too many choices and too much freedom. And it sounds like a good problem to have, right? Like who wouldn't want options? But the more I think about it, the more it feels like a curse. Take jobs, for example. Our grandparents didn't have 50 different industries screaming for them to join. Most of the time, they just did what was in front of them. You worked where your dad worked, or you took what was available in your town. Was it ideal? Maybe not, but at least they didn't sit there at 21 staring at 1,000 different possible careers, scared that one wrong choice would screw up their whole life. And I catch myself thinking like that all the time. Like, what if I choose the wrong path? What if I spend years climbing one ladder just to realize it was leaning on the wrong wall? That thought alone can freeze you up to the point where you'd rather not choose at all. And that's where the curse shows up. Not in the options themselves, but in the weight that comes with them. And it's not just jobs either, it's relationships. Back in the day, you kind of just married someone from your town or someone you met through a little community group or a family friend. It wasn't like you had 10,000 potential partners in your pocket with a swipe. Now it's like, what if there's someone better out there? What if I settle too early? What if I waste time with the wrong person? And you can drive yourself crazy with that. It turns love into this endless window shopping experience where you're so afraid of missing the best option that you don't commit to anything. And then there's the heavier stuff like wrestling with spirituality and things like that. Even there, the options feel endless. Do you believe this? Do you follow that? Or maybe you just pick nothing at all because you don't want to risk being wrong. But then you're left with this emptiness, like you're floating with no anchor. Again, it's the curse of choice. When you've got 100 doors you could walk through, sometimes it feels easier to sit in the hallway forever. And honestly, I don't think humans were designed for this much freedom. Like at some level, we want boundaries, we want limits. When everything is wide open, it starts to feel meaningless. But if there are 1,000 possible purposes you could live for, then it's almost like none of them matter, because they all cancel each other out. But here's the weird thing. Choice is what makes life exciting too. If there were no options, no risks, no freedom, then we'd all just be robots going through the motions. So it's not that choice itself is bad, it's that too much of it makes it feel like it crushes us. It's like water. You need some to live, but drown in it and you're gone. Sometimes I wonder if this is why we chase comfort or distraction so hard. It's not always because we're lazy, it's because facing choice after choice is exhausting. It's easier to binge Netflix than decide what to do with your future. It's easier to scroll than pick who to actually invest in. Because when you pick, you cut off every other possibility. And that's scary, man. Choosing feels like killing off other lives that you could have lived. And I think that's what sits at the heart of this curse. The fear of regret. The fear that one day you'll look back and say, I picked wrong. And that thought keeps you from picking anything at all. But the messed up part is, doing nothing is still a choice. And it's usually just the worst one. And I don't know how to solve this, and I'm not trying to. I'm just saying it's heavy. We grew up being told we could be anything. But nobody warned us that being anything feels like standing in front of a giant buffet when you're not even hungry. You just stare at the options until you feel sick. And I don't think there's any clean answer to this. All I know is this freedom that was supposed to be a blessing often feels like a curse. And maybe the real wrestle isn't just about which choice to make, but how to even carry the weight of choosing it all. And let's circle back a bit to how deep this actually goes. Like I said, relationships, religion, even in the small everyday stuff, it's not just about jobs and careers. Like think about relationships. Back in the day, you'd marry someone from your town, your neighborhood, maybe even someone your family already knew. There wasn't this endless menu of possibilities. But now every time you open your phone, you're swiping through faces like you're scrolling just on any other website. It's like love has become this catalog, and the crazy part is that no matter who you're with, in the back of your head, you're wondering, is there someone better out there? Did I choose right? And that's such a curse because instead of just being present and building something with the person in front of you, you're haunted by the ghosts of all these other potential options you could have picked. And like I said, it's the same with things like spirituality, or even just what you believe about the world in general. People used to grow up and inherit the religion of their family or community. That was it, and you lived it out. Maybe you wrestled with it, but it was your foundation. Now, every belief system is in your pocket. One scroll away. YouTube is feeding you 10 different philosophies before breakfast. TikTok has a dude with a ring light telling you that he's cracked the code to life. And it feels like you're supposed to sample them all before you land on something. And that's heavy, because when you've got too many voices shouting at you, it's almost easier to shut them all out and just float. But floating isn't really living either. Then you've got lifestyle choices. Like, think about it. At 21, we've got people telling us we can go anywhere, do anything. You can chase money, you can chase meaning, you can move across the country, you can travel the world. And it sounds amazing, right? But it's also paralyzing, because every path you don't take feels like a loss. Like, if I chose to stay in one city, does that mean I gave up one adventure? If I chase stability, did I give up freedom? Do I focus on meaning? Am I wasting my chance at wealth? You start thinking so hard about what you're giving up that you can't enjoy what you actually choose. Even the little choices start to weigh you down. You ever sit down to watch a show and scroll Netflix for half an hour, then realize you're too tired to even start something? And that's the curse in miniature form. Too many options actually rob you of joy. You're not watching something, you're just managing the fear of missing out on the best choice. And the thing is, underneath all this is a deeper fear we really don't admit out loud. It's not just that we're afraid of choosing wrong, it's that we're afraid of wasting our one life. Like, what if I choose this job and it's fine, but I look back at 40 and think I wasted my potential? What if I choose this personal love, and down the road I wonder if I missed my soulmate? What if I commit to this faith and later I realize I bet on the wrong horse? That's the real curse of choice. It turns every decision into this cosmic judgment about your whole existence. But maybe what makes this even harder for us is that we've been raised on this idea that the right choice is out there, like some golden path. That if you're smart enough, intentional enough, you'll find it. And if you don't, you failed. Nobody really says it, but that's the vibe we pick up from Instagram, from motivational speakers, from all these people who look like they've quote unquote figured it out. So when you're sitting there paralyzed, feeling like you're drowning in options, you don't just feel lost, you feel like it's your fault for not knowing. I don't have a neat answer to this, mostly because I'm in it with you guys. I feel the same stress about whether I'm choosing the right future, if I'll look back and regret. But maybe part of what we need is just to admit it out loud, that this pressure is real, that we're not crazy for feeling it, and that we don't have to pretend like we've got it all under control. Because pretending doesn't make the choices lighter. I keep thinking, maybe life isn't supposed to be about picking the perfect path, but about how we walk the one we do choose. Maybe the curse of choice is real, but the curse only wins if we spend our whole lives frozen, scared to take a step. And that's where I'll leave it for now. Not with some answer, but just with the honesty that we're all in this together.